Hello and welcome to Arvende Gaming. My name's Warrior and this is episode 35 of my Let's Play Tyranny series. In the last episode, we claimed our last spire. We also completed a ritual that sucked the last bit of life force out of Can, and in doing so, we blighted a region of the land. I can't remember what the name of it was. Forever, the Stone Sea. I think it is Stone Sea. Anyway, we'll find that out in a second. And yes, we ended up making our way back to talk to Graven Ash and let him know what we've done. So, without further ado, let's get into it. All right. Now, it was, yes, the Stone Sea. I was right about that. Okay. Cool. Now, we just have to talk to Graven Ash. So let's get to it. Baitbinder, I felt something indescribable pass through me just before your arrival. Emotions of great rage and pain, followed by a moment of lingering sorrow. I suspect that something has been lost, and Taratus herself strains at the absence. Ash winces and rubs his brow. I understand that both of the spires jutting up from the ruins of Azure are now under your control. It would seem that impossible feats are no mystery to the likes of you. Impressive for Tunon's minion. Do not allow yourself to be swept up by the esteem and glory of this achievement. Were you a soldier of mine, I would temper your pride with modesty. What would you do with a spire under your authority? The disfavored and earthshakers were triumphant and have managed to destroy Can. Can is dead, Ash. Are you alright, Archon? Um, The disfavored and earthshakers were triumphant and have managed to destroy Can. The Archon of Stone, fallen, Ash turns his gaze out to Iron Hearth, settling it on nothing. I thank you, Fatebinder. This was a long time coming. Can's betrayal was inexcusable, and a death sentence from a lawful hand is no more or less than he deserved. What's more, you are to be commended for resolving an edict of Kyros and putting down an archon at once. He pulls on the end of his beard and frowns. On to the next order of business. What happens to the Scarlet Chorus from here? You don't sound too pleased about this. Cam was simply another pest to swat on my path to greatness. I have my doubts about starving the Scarlet Chorus this way. Um, yes. Ben was simply another pest. Should I be a bit of an asshole? No, you don't seem too pleased about this. Yeah, let's go with that one. You don't seem too pleased about this. But do not always find war pleasing, especially in these dark days. When it is thrust upon me, and former allies show their true colours, at times I want nothing more than to see home again. But even home has its memories. I would never have called the Archon of Stone a friend. Ken was a difficult man to know, taciturn and removed, keeping to himself and often as not. But we have much in common. When you are an Archon, that is a quality you learn to cherish in others. So no, I'm not pleased. I make no secret of it. I am sorrowful and cruel. Even though the Archon needed to die, that does not stop me from wishing it were otherwise. To the next order of business. What happens to the Scarlet Chorus from here? You know what? I have my doubts about starving the Scarlet Chorus this way. Do you think the Voices of Narak concerns himself over the ethics of his atrocities? Do you think that he questions the fairness of it all while he displays the pelts of his victims as works of art? This is war, and I will not allow petty misgivings to stay my hand. I have no desire to become as twisted and deplorable as the Voices, but I will use every weapon at my disposal to rid the world of him. Okay, on to the next order of business. What will happen to the Scarlet Chorus from here? The crops grown from our enemies will have withered to the vine, on the vine. By now, the Archon's forces are clutching their stomachs and tightening their belts as we starve them out. Ash stands tall and beams at the thought. Party has received Ash's finery. The Stone Sea region is now controlled by the disfavored. A fair reward for more than fair service to the Legion. Ash nods with gratitude and hands you a heavy hammer wrapped in cloth. The Earthshakers and Forgebound conceived of this, and I think of no wielder more deserving than you, Fatebinder. Okay. Asander. Fatebinder. Breathless, the officer snaps to attention. No time for pleasantries or ceremony. Your spire is under attack. Scarlet Chorus have ramped up their offensive, and they mean to topple your stronghold. With you atop it, if need be. I feared something like this might happen, an act of desperation from the voices of Narat. He's either too much of a coward to attack Iron Hearth, or his forces are too weak. Either way, you'll need to answer this threat with blood. For once, are you lying to me, soldier? You lying to me, soldier? You gain wrath with the disfavored. Fatebinder, this accusation is beneath you and embarrasses us all. You should know better than to distrust my soldiers. He blinks. What? No, the chorus gangs are assembling outside of your spire. You need to take action at once. Fine, I'll check on my spire, but don't try anything while I'm gone. Gain wrath with the disfavored again. What would I even... Bewildered, the officer waves the matter aside and regards you with impatience. Good luck at your spire, then. New message from Fatebinder Regalis. Archon's End. Dear Fatebinder Warrior, you ended an edict and now you have ended an Archon. I know none in this court had such expectations for you when the adjudicator initially brought you among us. So many surprises in so short a span. You fascinate. While he lived, Can was a singular being, a titanic man born of the womb of Taratus herself, to hear some tell it. While none still living can provide account to that birth, you bore witness to his demise. Indeed, you precipitated it. I ask that you indulge my scholar's curiosity. What passed between you and the Archon of Stone in those final moments? Did the ground tear itself asunder as a widow rends her garments? Did the mountains groan panegyric to their champion? Were there any final words from Can, spoken or inscribed? Does the crystal that reportedly protrudes from the cliff face throughout azure still glimmer, or has it darkened? Watch eagerly for your bird, Fatebinder Regalis. Describe the blighted land, brag about felling an Archon, tell him that you saved the land and spared Can. Describe the blighted land. Fatebinder Regalis, how does one depict the death throes of a nation? In the Edict of Stone, Kyros consigned Can to his doom, but in their ritual, the Earthshakers spread that execution across the entire region. The life drained from the soil even as it faded from Can's eyes. One could verily feel the stone trying to leech my own life from me, as if I'd eaten stale bread when I already thirst for a flagon. We marked this place, and it may never recover. Fatebinder Warrior. That sounds good to me. Alright. Word has it that the Scarlet Chorus are laying siege to your spire in Vendrian's well. The Archon of Secrets has apparently exhausted his restraint and has called for your head. Vendrian's well. Return to your spire. Alright. That's what we're going to do then. Time to return to the spire. Or we can speed it up a little bit while we run down to the exit. Okay, this could get interesting. So, Vendrian's well, we want to go to the mountain spire. we're there. Things could get interesting. Claim all the spies, and then the voices of Narat wants to take it from us. Iron Marshal Arenios. Greetings, Fatebinder. The Ironclad salutes you with a clattering salute. Our oath-bound scouts alerted us to a chorus assault on your spire, and Lord Ash insisted we send aid at once. I've assembled a massive sculpture rumbles, shaking the masonry of the spire and sending her off balance. Alright, here we go. Cool. The orb in the center of the resonator spins with the push of some unseen force. Where the structure once exuded warmth, now it gives off a ferocious heat that singes your face the longer you stare into it. A sound like music swarms in the air around the structure, but it's painful and disharmonious to your ears. Ebb, by Kyros' hairy backside. Ebb covers her ears and takes a step back from the structure at the center of the spire. That music, it's awful. Feels like my teeth are ripping their way out of my mouth. Don't you hear it? She attempts to sign a rune, only to see her pattern fizzle into steam. And it's your name. Listen real close, and it's your name said over and over until it's just one mystic wail. The spire is now fully awake. Its long dormant currents of energy dance to your presence. Iron Marshal Arenios. Yes. Crouching to the ground to steady herself, Arenios stays low to the ground until the trembling subsides. Feels like something is shaking the spire. The chorus can't pull off that sort of magic. What in Kyros' name is going on? The spire almost has a mind of its own. I should see what's going on. Spire often communicates in visions. Perhaps this is its way of saying it has something to discuss. As the ruler of this spire, I have a mystic link to this place. Give me a moment and I'll get to the bottom of this. Yes. I suppose this magical spire of yours has some warding magic, or something of that ilk. She points down towards the chorus troops amassing below. Unshakable courage and superior training will only take us so far against that larger force. This spire resonates my voice. I'll shout to the valley that I have an edict from Kyros that should get them running. Just let me think. I'll handle this. With an exasperated shrug, Arenios drops her gaze to her feet. Whatever you're pondering, it had better work. It's it from a Fatebinder, an archon band. Fatebinder Warrior, unless I'm mistaken, and I'm very rarely mistaken, I detect in your words remorse, empathy, though an admirable trait is wasted on the undeserving. One profits from fretting over the fates of the seditious, no more than one profits from the concern for the pain suffered by the murderer consigned to the headsman's axe. Kyros has branded greater lands than Azure with the lingering effects of edicts. We celebrate such destruction no more than we celebrate a verdict of guilt. They are no more and no less than the currency by which we purchase order and peace. Thank you for your response and your continued service. Fatebinder regardless. Okay. Resonator atop the Vendrian's Well Spire is activated. The arcane structure seems to amplify all magic around it. How and why were a mystery until now. You believe this artifact could be used to help repel the enemies laying siege to your citadel. Alright, let's check out this freaking hammer first. Ash's Finery. Okay. It's not like it's a... Let's put it in here. Let's go to here and let's see what it is. So it's one-handed. One-handed hammer. So yeah, we sort of do want to have a look at this here. What the hell? Earthshaker's gift. Oh, it's an accessory. +10 to will defense. Fragment of Can's arm. Potency 2. +2 might. That's pretty crazy. Let's put all these in here. Alright, so yes. I've got Dauntless and Sunlance. Does more DPS than Sunlance. It's not an artifact though. So I think Sunlance is better off being there. Alright. Let us go to it. The mystic hum of the spire pulses to the cadence of your heart. The ancient structure awaits your command. There's still so much that doesn't make sense. Touch the resonator and concentrate. Prepare yourselves, I have an edict to reclaim. Could possibly go wrong. Touch the resonator and concentrate. As you touch the stone structure, your sense of the moment slows and you feel the entirety of the tears at your fingertips. The spire stands ready to channel your will. Select a region to view its current edict or to issue a new one. Edict of Stone. The Edict of Stone leeches magical energy from the sky and living creatures, storing it in the rocks below. This energy can lead to earthquakes and the slow petrification of the living. Edict of Storms will generate a massive storm that covers huge areas of the world. Chaotic energy unleashed will cause random damage to strike your enemies during combat. Cool. Okay, so I need to choose one of these. And the slow petrification of the living. Chaotic energy unleashed will cause random damage to strike your enemies during combat. Okay, so it uses 500 power. The Edict of Storms will generate a massive storm that covers huge areas of the world. Yes, okay, so enemy effects. Plus 50% shock damage taken, plus 5 control lightning, negative 30 control fire. The torrential rain plaguing the land, increasing the power of shock spells and lowers the effectiveness of fire spells. Plus 25 control lightning, negative 30 control fire. Negative 15 to all magic skills, plus 30 control stone, plus 20 defense against prone attacks. And Bane. And I don't really like either of these options. Let's go with this one, I suppose. Issue an edict from the mountain spire, establishing yourself as an engraven Ash's name. The Iron Marshal turns about, taking in the view in all directions. But Kyros didn't give an edict to read, so how did... I had a feeling that might work. Play silently. Having broken the edict, I seem to be able to recreate it, if in a limited fashion. You did that. Her hand grasped for her chest. But only Kyros can cast an edict. I assure you that was my own magic at work. glare silently, or, and now that you've seen what I can do with your own eyes, you can tell others. Yeah, let's go with that one. Gain wrath with the disfavored. Your voice carries the weight of the Overlord's magic. She dips into a bow. I should not have doubted you. The chorus have no idea what they've just walked into. The Iron Marshal smashes her gauntlets together with a quiet chuckle. Binder, let her strike now. We must seize the moment and swing their panic into a rout. Wasting her blade in hand, Arrhenius moves toward the exit. Fatebinder, I will get the carnage started. Join me when you are ready, and we'll deal with whatever rabble remains. Alright. That's pretty crazy. Now we need to defeat the invaders. Okay. That is nuts. So that's edict.
Will do.
Forgebound, a pity that I make weapons and never get to see the enjoyment you take. What do you need? Do you have something ready? Let me show you what I have. Let's take all that into the party stash. Alright. Now, do I have a not in combat? We need to rest. So, let's have a quick rest. Does make it daytime though. Except.
On it.
Let's go down and repel some invaders. Bang. That shit's brutal. Death Knell. A gang of rain-soaked Scarlet Chorus trails behind Death Knell, a mixture of awe and confusion resting upon their faces. What foul trick are you playing such that the weather comes to your aid? I should thank you for separating the wheat from the chaff. The sight of seeing dozens struck dead by lightning made a good show to startle the dead weights. She points back behind her shoulder, leaving the bravest with the privilege of tearing off your limbs, one joint at a time. She turns to her soldiers and lets out a primal howl, her warriors echoing the battle cry in dissonant tones. Insufficient reputation. With rage in her eyes, the warriors ready their weapons, eager for the fight. Athletics. Brandish your weapon menacingly. I wonder which of you will scream the longest before dying. Law 65. Fools, did you not hear me proclaim that edict? Either I cast that edict by myself, or did so with the Overlord's blessing. Think that through very carefully. You were brave to press on through the edict. I will happily give your warriors death. Let's go with athletics. Yeah. And 42 athletic skill experience. Nervous glances are exchanged between many of the warriors gathering in the courtyard. Sensing the dip in morale, Death Knell looks back with a scowl. We have the advantage of numbers. Don't be spineless. Her shouts do nothing to assuage their fears. Enough talk. You will be trampled and forgotten. Only the voices in the rat will remember your name. Right. So we've got things we can pick up here apparently. Alright, what do we got here? Blood Chanter, Sage Apprentice, Death Knell, Horde, Scarlet Fury. Alright. Well, let's bloody do it then, hey? Death Knell, fire is going to be weak, so let's get the old skull splitter out. You come over here. Oh, Shield of Suffering. Sets you got on. Okay, you're using Faithful Promise. Go to your two-hander. Oh, excuse me. Alright. You know what? Just strike some iron. Strike some iron over here and ebb. Shoot an arcane missile first.
Count on it.
Here we go. Scarlet Fury, Sage Apprentice. There you go, my dog's going off. I'm just going to pause it real quick. Okay, went for a look, but I can't see what Fury's going on about. Anyway.
Watching.
So, everyone's still got their head. Where is everyone at the moment? So we've just got some bald guy here. But Oracle is there. Verse. You were this guy. Barrack. You give this guy a bit of a hit then. And Ebb. You great.
Even Ash protects.
What are you doing running all the way around here, Bert? What the hell did you just do that for? I wanted you to skewer.
Bleed out, you
Bleeding out.
little shit. I need to try contact. This isn't working.
Hobble prey. Breaking the wall.
I will aid you.
Okay, what are you bloody trying to attack here? What are you trying to do there? 'Cause that's not the one that I was asking you to do. Let's go rest. Use a concussive bolt. That guy. You shoot that guy. Death now's been taken out. Okay. Cool. Just slice.
I'll hit you twice as hard next time.
Slice. Go for a slice. Okay, there's another Scarlet Fury. We got a couple of Scarlet Furies coming down. Let's come over here and skewer this guy. Your wield's gone up a little. You. This guy. You strike some.
I will aid you.
Bleed out, you little shit.
Let's skull split this one.
Take me if you can. Graven Ash protects.
Alright, everything's going pretty well right now. Yeah, you shoot that. You electric jolt.
I'll take care of it.
Just do what you gotta do.
Pity you won't enjoy this as much as I do.
On your knees, worm!
Wow. Okay. Yeah, muffled laughter comes from under Arrhenius's great helm. That's right, you filthy peasants. Run for your lives. Telling a rat what you saw here. The chorus is running in every direction, scattered to the winds, as it were. The few brave enough to stand their ground against your edict of storms are dead. The day is ours. Leave the clean-up to me and my brethren. You should take your rightful place perched atop the spire. No better way to savour this victory than with a commanding view of your enemy fleeing across the valley. Yeah, fair call. Right, let's loot all of the stuff first. Stuff out here to loot too. Can't get to it yet. Crimson Great Spear. Masterwork. It's better than the Sun Lance and Dauntless. Oh, that's because it's two-handed. Yeah, come up here. Something up here to loot. There we go. Get down over here. Fury! What are you doing? Sorry guys, Fury's fucking around. I'll be back in a second. I tell you, doggies don't get themselves into mischief. Back inside. I wonder if we shut down the edict now. Here we go. Shocked and demoralized by your display of power and the ease with which you dispatched their leader, the Scarlet Chorus fighters lose their nerve and scatter in defeat. Survivors carry with them fearful murmurs of the powerful archon Warrior, a being of enormous might who can cast an edict with the same authority as the Overlord. Confusion sets in across the realm. Amid the whispers and misinformation, one fact remains consistent. The Overlord's power has been challenged. You safely assume that such rumours are making their way back to Kyros. The height of winds in your edict sweep the air, dashing debris against your spire. Torrential rain falls, hitting hard enough to bruise the bare skin. Lightning strikes the ground, endangering anyone out in the open. It isn't long before the storm begins to wane, slowly falling from a gale to a light rainstorm. After a few days, it becomes a simple breeze. Eventually the sky is calm as your edict dissipates, releasing Bendrian's world from its grip. You gather a small council of your closest allies and plan your next steps from the safety of your spire. No sooner do you get started than Kaleo, Fatebinder of Tunon, pays a visit bearing an important message. Alright, here we go. The story's getting crazy. Fatebinder Kaleo. I keep hearing about this little spire you've been calling your own. Nodding with a smirk, Fatebinder Kaleo peers over the edge of the tower. Now that you've slaughtered those who would take your lands, I think your claim is as official as it gets. What did I do to earn a visit from a Fatebinder? Do you have an edict to proclaim against me? Glare silently. Nice to see you, but how'd you get up here? Let me guess, you're here to investigate what just happened? That's interesting. Yeah, let's go with let me guess, you're here to investigate what just happened. Naturally, she nods with a smile. Chingnon expects me to give a full report, but today I come bearing an important message. Not an edict, but commandments from the mouth of the Overlord, all the same. No one's entirely sure what to make of you these days, Warrior. They all say you spoke an edict of storms, not a proclamation of an edict of Kyros, but your own edict of storms, your own mystical storm. If I had known you could do this when I first met you, I'd maybe have tried in earnest to kill you. Hope for the sake of Tyranny that the right person has inherited this gift. Barak, I don't know what to make of you, Fatebinder, proclaiming and breaking the Overlord's magic, claiming these awful towers. It should come as no surprise that an edict is within your grasp, but I still find room for surprise. First, you're powerful in ways that gang bosses and mages aren't. You commanded this place to do your bidding, and unleashed something incredible on the world. That isn't the work of a Fatebinder. If anything, it's the work of an archon. Hills in Shadow. Beast Woman will follow Alpha from here to ends of Tears lands, and farther still. Will pour prowl deep into cold north, hunting armies of Kyros at Alpha's side. Together, Shadow Hunter and Alpha will slaughter the whole of Prima's tribe. Fatebinder Kaleo. She shakes her head with a grin. I always knew you'd be a delightful bit of trouble, but I didn't think you had a touch of the Overlord's power in you. Why didn't you tell me? I genuinely didn't know I had it in me. Please, it seems a bit presumptuous to claim the Overlord's power. I still don't fully understand this power just yet. And now that I have this power, others will fear me, and for good reason. Glare silently, no. I'm still not sure this power is entirely my own, or what it all means. You've known me a long time. My greatness shouldn't be a surprise, huh? So I assume this means you'll be addressing me as Overlord now. You've known me a long time. My greatness shouldn't be a surprise. I'm still not sure this power is entirely my own, or what that means. We get a little bit pig-headed. You've known me a long time. My greatness shouldn't be a surprise. She chuckles, shaking her head at you with a grin. For a moment, I was envious of this power of yours. Then I realized I'm not the one with threat to the Overlord painted on my forehead. I come bearing orders direct from the Overlord. Kaleo clears her throat, her voice becoming somber and severe. Kyros has decreed two things. First, the Overlord has demanded that one and only one archon is fit to rule the tiers. To that end, the archons are to settle through death or dominance who is the one archon fit to inherit the tiers. In the second decree, so the Overlord wants even more civil war. Have the archons been informed of this yet? Law subjects of Kyros don't turn on each other. This is how this madness started, with the archons falling into disorder. So I was just given permission to kill or subjugate the archons? And the second decree. Kyros has decreed you are the newest archon. Fatebinder Kaleo bows with exaggerated flourish. So the other archons now have orders to control or destroy you, and the other way around. Her face becomes a beaming smile. See, this is why I try to avoid getting Kyros' attention. What if we don't fight? Why not ignore this order? And to be clear, this is a command from Kyros, but not an edict. Wait, now I'm an archon? I issued an edict. I think that makes me more than an archon. Be clear, this was a command from Kyros, but not an edict. Correct, there's no edict backing this order. She smiles a toothy grin. Such encouragement hardly seems necessary when the task is its own reward. The Overlord has merely rescinded Kyros' peace. The archons may kill and maim each other without breaking any laws. Kyros knows, rightly so, that enmities new and old will drive the archons to mutual destruction. The Overlord need only remove the pretense of peace and watch the ensuing violence. Kyros shrugs with a smile. Would you have preferred another do-or-die edict? I've heard enough, and I know what comes next. Other archons will bend to my will or die. I have a close alliance with Graven Ash. This order will complicate things, to say the least. What of the court? Have you heard what Tunon and Bleeding Mark think of this? I'll let them fight it out. I'm safe up here on my spire. I think I'm more troubled by this sudden promotion to Archon. Thank you for delivering this message. That will be all. You know what? Thank you for delivering the message. That will be all. Nuno in favour 2. First step in deciding you won't bow to one of the other Archons. Calio offers a smug nod. I wish you the best of luck. First step is deciding you won't bow. Yeah, okay. I wish you the best of luck in your upcoming struggle. Know that when you come for Bleeding Mark and Tunon, I and the other Fate Binders won't interfere. The question me and the other Binders have been asking, can you do this again? Nenoval believes in you. Another, who shall remain nameless, takes the more cynical stance that the Overlord has a hand so far up your arse she can puppet your mouth, and you couldn't cast a second edict if you tried. She sizes you up head to toe. Me, I think you have it in you, or at least I like the idea of proclaiming an edict of yours someday. I have something in mind for the voices of Narat. I'll issue an edict upon cacophony in the Stone Sea. Glare silently. Now that you mention it, curiosity demands we try having you proclaim an edict of mine. I'm certain I have it in me to cast another edict, but I'm not sure I want to play recklessly with this power. On cacophony in the Stone Sea. Now that you mention it, curiosity demands we try having you proclaim an edict of mine. Are you? Her hand darts in front of her mouth. Serious? You'd let me do that? Sure, what's the worst thing that could happen? To us. Of course, grab your quill. One step at a time. I'll try this edict to think. Yeah, of course, grab your quill. Readying quill and parchment, Callio prepares to set your words in writing. Address a proclamation against the Blade Grave and the disfavoured fortress of Ironhearth. Address a proclamation against the Stone Sea and the Chorus's headquarters, Cacophony. Yeah, let's fuck up the Chorus's headquarters. She writes your words with a dutiful hand. Proclaim an edict of storms. Yes. With the edict complete, Callio approaches the edge of the spire and, with much projection as her voice can muster, reads aloud your edict. And nothing happens. Callio slumps her shoulders with a disappointed whimper. It was worth a try. Well, it works when Kyros writes it down. Perhaps there's some trick to it I haven't learned yet. I'm certain my voice is an essential requirement. It helps that this sculpture here atop the spire resonates sound. Okay. Certain my voice is an essential requirement. It helps this sculpture here atop the spire resonate sound. But your power most certainly worked when you used your own voice. So, we at least know that your voice is an essential part of invoking your powers, or at least so far. I would imagine Kyros spoke a great number of edicts before learning how to write them down for others to proclaim. In truth, I'm a bit relieved. While I relish the thought of being your harbinger of non-negotiable death, I'm not sure being the conduit for such arcane forces is something I should be taking so lightly. Then again, perhaps your past proclamations are part of what set the seed of this power in you. She taps her chin in thought. You've gained wrath with tune on. Anyway, it's an honor to be part of the experiment. She rolls the parchment proclamation into her satchel. I say we try this again some other day. Learn more about what you can do with your power, and someday I'll be your herald of doom. It'll be a date. Ooh, no worries, Kaleo. With a nod, Kaleo begins to make her way to the exit. When you rule Taratus, look me up. If you're successful, I know I'll be in need of a new archon to serve. So Kyros has ordered all the archons to fight it out until only the strongest remain. I think we can now safely say that the Scarlet Chorus philosophy has been vindicated. A rumbling mutter stirs from under Barrack's helmet, devoid of any cogent words. Gills in shadow. Alpha birth own words of power like humans. Prima called Kyros. Is better mystic than broodmother to kills in shadow, than stone stalkers 100 blood, than beast woman archon slaughtered by mark of shadows. She snorts and grins savagely. Kills in shadow knew Alpha was most powerful human in whole of Tierlands. A curved claw taps the side of her snout. Nose was not wrong. One last thing, Fatebinder Kaleo says. Hesitating before she leaves, Kaleo taps the parchment she's been holding to her forehead with a self-deprecating scoff. All this talk of you being the second coming of the Overlord, and I almost forgot my duties. Here comes the edict. I know. This is a court summons from Bleeding Mark, Tunon's assassin. I suggest you read it carefully as part of your preparations. Your survival may depend on it. Good luck, Archon. Alright. This is getting pretty crazy. Cacophony is now unlocked on the world map. Iron Marshal Erenios. Fatebinder Archon, the great general, has pulled his troops back to Ironhearth. She grinds her knuckles into her palm. Soon we make our final push into the Stone Sea and the heart of Scarlet Chorus power. The voices of the rat is weak, and the path to Cacophony is clear. She adopts a more cautious tone. The Archon is also aware of what happened at Vendrian's Well. I'm sure he wants to discuss the matter in person. Head to Ironhearth straight away. I follow no one's orders. I'll consider the request. I think it's time for us to start distancing ourselves from the disfavored. I'll consider the request. I wouldn't spend too long considering. You've demonstrated incredible power, and this is a time for action. I'll send Ash a bird so he knows to expect you later, if not right away. Take care how you treat with Graven Ash. You're no mere Fatebinder any longer. You'll meet with him as Archon to Archon, and such things are more complicated. Good luck. Alright. Quest completed, a trial of Archons. Okay, call to arms. Standing tall has finished. Raven Ash, new quest, final judgment. Okay. Raven Ash has called all disfavored forces back to Ironhearth to regroup before making a final push into Cacophony to defeat the voices in the rat. Speak with Graven Ash. Although you have declared yourself an Archon, Graven Ash has still summoned you to meet with him at Ironhearth. Final judgment. Tunon has summoned you to his court to stand trial for your actions in the Tiers. Travel to the Bastard City. Alright. I will only ask once. Kid, I take it you're aware of the Overlord's latest decree. If not, let me give it to you straight. Now's a bad time to be an Archon in the Tiers. Since most likely I'll be the one to cut you down, I thought I'd first explain. It's not my choice. But if it was, I would still choose to kill you. See you soon. Bledenmark, Archon of Shadows and Court Blade. Arrange a meeting. Bleeding Mark, if I am to die by your hand, I would prefer it to be in battle, face to face. Or would that be face to shadow? Regardless, at the risk of depriving you the thrill of a good ambush, I would ask that we meet in person, as peers, drawing blades openly. If it is that what it if it that is what it is to come to, on the reverse of this parchment I've mapped for you a location in the wilderness. Let us meet and settle things there. I'll provide you 2 days to scout the location in advance should you require. Hope to see you there. My dearest Mark, I must sincerely thank you for your forward warning. Please know that I have indeed taken your words to heart and, as such, returned the following in reply. Certainly I would not expect you to follow me without first testing my mettle. If we must slay each other, so be it. I respect your prowess and will stand my ground if a duel is what you desire. But I would ask that you consider instead pledging your blade to me rather than aiming it at my throat. Does Kyros' decree insist that we kill each other, or merely that one should best the other? Warm regards, Warrior. Calling the Archon of Shadows. Mark, I'm sorry, who are you again? Oh, right, that creepy guy who stares at people from the shadows. If you want to say hello, just come talk to me already. I should thank Kyros, as the Overlord has finally unburdened me of the need to treat you like anything more than what you are. A sad little sociopath who will soon be grasping for his last breath at the end of my weapon. Did your predilection for children turn even the cast? Metal stomach of the chorus. I've often wondered what crime tune I must have you on to keep you on such a short leash. Of course, short leashes are ideal for the servant lives only to lick his master's feet. Oh, if the servant lives only to lick his master's feet. Sharpen your blades, freak, I'm coming for you, because let's face it, you can't come for me before you're ordered to, can you, Warrior? Let's arrange a meeting. Although I do like the idea of fucking taunting him. But then also saying something cordial, fucking... It's the same sort of thing, isn't it? Yuri, can you please not stand there? Thank you very much. Alright, okay, we gotta make a decision here. What did he say? Take it you're aware of the Overlord's latest decree. If not, let me get it to you straight. Now's a bad time to be an Archon, since mostly I'll likely be the one to cut you down. I thought I'd explain. It's not my choice. You know what? Let's just arrange a meeting. Send it. Missive is in transit. Right. All right. Now, let's check out the world map. The Burning Library entrance. Location unreachable. Cacophony. Howling masses of Narat's horde reside here amongst the dry, rocky. You know what? I'm kind of keen to go to Cacophony and talk to old mate. So let's see about it. It's quicker to go there than it is to go to the Dawning Spire and then go there. Alright, let's do it. Want to go to Cacophony. See what is up with the voices of Narat. Received a missive from Bledmark. Only asked once. Bledmark Favour 3, Kid. Since it was you that asked, sure, why not? I could wait for the adjudicator's official order, but this seems much more interesting. Here's my conditions. We meet alone, and when we meet with our blades drawn... we meet alone and we meet with our blades drawn, and no crying when I carve your eyes out. I've already scouted the clearing, and you indicated in your note. Arrive when you like, and I'll make my presence known. Remember, no tears, no begging. Alrighty then. Let's fucking do it. After I check out this place. Right, there is some serious Scarlet Chorus enemies in this area, which is good. Let's end the episode on a fight, hey? What do we got? Got Horde, Blood Chanter. Oh, we've got conversations to be had here. Speak with Barrack. I can scarcely believe it. You proclaimed an edict. You wielded the power of the Overlord. For a moment, perhaps, but it was enough to turn the tide of battle in our favour. It simply doesn't happen. The Overlord's magic is as unknowable as anything on Tyranny, as mysterious and, well, I was about to say as unapproachable as the spires, but you have certainly cleanly dispelled that notion. This can only mean trouble for us. Kyros doesn't tolerate competition. What do you suggest I do next? This can only mean trouble for us. Kyros doesn't tolerate competition. No, indeed. I wouldn't want to stand in your place when the day of reckoning comes, but standing next to you might prove just as dangerous. What do you suggest I do next? Hold fast to your loyalties in the Overlord's hierarchy. There's always the chance that Kyros will leave you alone if your fealty is true, but I offer no guarantees. That is what I would do, anyway. You must follow your own path.
What can I do for you?
Yeah, okay. We'll talk later. Alright. Okay, so we'll end the episode on talking to each of these three. First, are you trying to piss everyone off, or do you just do this for fun? I'm not judging either way, I'm just curious. Casting an edict on Vendrian's well is a good way to shine a beacon on yourself, or paint a target. Verse crosses her arms and smiles. I saved your skin, didn't I? I put us all in danger, I should never have done it. Saved your skin, didn't I? Sure did, for now. Like I said, I'm not trying to prod you or suggest you made the wrong call. As someone who likes to stay discreet until she has the opening to strike a killing blow, I find your little public gesture of dominance, well, quaint, charming in a dumb way. Alright. And speak with
Hail,
him.
mighty archon.
Em salutes you with a nod, pounding her staff to the ground as she stands at attention.
Your newfound power runs in the face of what I thought I knew. All my life, I've been told Kyros alone can issue an edict. And yet, here you are, proclaiming mastery of the lands just like the Overlord.
Alright. I can replicate his powers, but not just like the Overlord. It's her powers. I can replicate her powers, but I'm not just like the Overlord. Perhaps there are others beside me and the Overlord. It's fortunate, then, that you were sworn to me. Perhaps there are others beside me and the Overlord.
I should certainly hope not. Tyranny isn't large enough for Kyros, and it's certainly going to get very interesting if the two of you start waving your edicts to and fro.
Yeah, fair call.
Your newfound power runs in the face of what I thought I knew. All my life, I've been told Kyros alone can issue an edict. And yet, here you are,
Alright.
proclaiming mastery of the lands just like the Overlord.
I can replicate her powers, but I'm not just like the Overlord.
You say that now, Let's see if you still feel this way when the reality sinks in, and your mastery of this newfound power solidifies. The world now bows to your mere utterance. Each day you will grow stronger, while the world becomes weaker in comparison. Put another way, if I could do what you do, the world would be at the mercy of my depravity. Cursing the name of Ebb, archon of fecund fluids. Let's hope your moral sextant isn't as crooked as my own. Your newfound power runs in the face of what I thought I knew.
It's fortunate then
All
that
my
you are
life,
sworn to me.
yes. Fortunate indeed. I will endeavor to be worthy of the honor. Your newfound power runs in the face.
About that.
What is it you need?
Let's return to our travels. Okay, so that's talking with them out of the way. Let's do a little saberoo here, and we'll call that the end of the episode. Thank you very much for joining me today, especially if you made it through to the end. It's been an interesting episode. We, maybe it feels like this is sort of the halfway mark. You know, like we have been made an archon. We now have to try and, I suppose, take control of the tiers, whatever that looks like. So, yeah, come and watch the next episode if you want to see where this goes. Other than that, I stream on Mondays, Wednesdays and Fridays, 7 p.m. Adelaide time. Come and check it out. I play various different types of games. City builders, co-op games, action-y type games. Yeah, so come and check that out. Other than that, don't have much else to say, so thank you again, and I'll see you in the next one. Never stop loving life.